This is a video to help you prepare for the Unit 5 Weathering, Erosion, and Deposition ISN check. On page 30 is our cover page. This will need to be decorated in the coming weeks. On page 31 is the table of contents. Please make sure the entire table of contents has been completed, as we've been filling it in every day in class. Across from the table of contents on page 32 is your completed vocabulary chart. On page 33 is the article we read about the 6th grader whose science fair project caught ecologists' attention. On the back is where we analyzed her experiment and then completed a warm-up from February 23rd about the Einstein Jr. project. On page 34 is Bill Nye erosion. On page 35, we have a warm-up from February 25th using details and big ideas. And then we drew the activity did with the lifesaver, breaking it down mechanically and then breaking it down mechanically. Across on page 36 is our 2-2 notes and also the 3-1 notes. If you are missing the blanks for these notes, the entire notes for the whole unit are located in the locker. There you can fill in the boxes. On page 36 is a warm-up for March 2nd. You may have, instead of a permeability drawing here, you may have a rock cycle diagram. On page 38 is your degree of permeability lab. 39, your journey on the rock cycle. Please make sure the back has your completed comic. On page 40 is the video notes for rivers and streams. And on page 41 was the geological features that we labeled across from page 42, which is the short glossary of river-related features and terms. On page 43 is the river cutter data sheet. So we did many rivers and ran them down the diatomaceous earth. Your data is there. And then the lab streams in action should be completed on page 44. On page 45 is a warm-up from March 5th and also our river cutter lab conclusion. Across from page 46, which is the lab, a question of slope. On page 47 should be the warm-up from March 9th. There also will be a warm-up where you wrote the directions on how to make a PB&J sandwich to practice writing procedures. On page 48 is the chapter 3 section 2 notes, and on the back the notes should also be completed. Again, if you're missing the notes, the blanks are in the locker titled W.E.D notes, and you can get all the blanks for the entire unit. On page 49 should be a drawing of longshore drift that we drew across from the lab sheet called Coastal Erosion Lab on page 50. On page 51 should be a paragraph we talked about explaining how glaciers form. And on 52 we have section 3-3 notes, and on the back are your glacier notes that you completed as the flipped lesson with the video. And then on page 53 should be your glacier graph where you drew what the ice cream and the graham cracker crumbs looked like to represent the moraine and the till of a glacier. And then the lab sheet itself should be on page 54. Lastly, on page 55 should be your unit study guide. We'll be going over the answers in class, and a key will also be posted. So again, make sure all your warm-ups are completed, everything's taped in and very organized, and if you're missing anything, check the locker or the daily agendas.